cha, 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 Igbo kwenu, oe. Cha, 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 Igbo kwenu, oe. Cha, 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 Igbo kwenu, oe. Abia kwenu, oe. Anambra kwenu, oe. Ebonyi kwenu, oe. Enugu kwenu, oe. Imo kwenu, oe. Nigeria kwezuono. Hello, my beautiful friends, families, and loved ones. All of you that are my ardent listeners and viewers, I salute you all. I guess we all slept and woke up in our respective beds. Okay? If that's the case, let's glorify the Almighty God. It's not easy. My name is Mr. Omazi B.O., a full-fledged Igbo son and teacher of Igbo language, culture, and traditions, including general issues that affect our lives in society, the lives of the Igbos and the lives of non-Igbos. Today, we are going to talk about one interesting activity that takes place in every typical Igbo land or in every typical Igbo village, hamlet, or community. Okay, that very activity is called Egwu Onwa. Egwu Onwa. Egwu, when you hear the word Egwu, means dance. Onwa means moon. So when you combine the two together, the combo of the two gives you the meaning of moonlight dance or moonlight activities. That is, the activities that take place when the moon has lighted up the earth. That's what we're going to discuss today. Okay, yeah. In every typical Igbo land, or in every part of the Igbo land, there is an activity that takes place only when the moon has lighted up the earth. That is when the moon is full, right up there in the sky. As I said, that activity is called Egwu Onwa. Egwu Onwa mainly is practiced by children of any age, teenagers inclusive. So it's not just kids that are 2, 3, 4, 5. No, you see some people, 19-year-old children also involved in Egwu Onwa in Igbo land. Egwu Onwa is what is practiced in every Igbo land. There's no Igbo land, any part of the Igbo land you go to, you don't hear, see, or witness Egwu Onwa activities. When I was a mere kid, I witnessed a lot of Egwu Onwa activities, moonlight activities, the moonlighting. I was so thrilled. Growing up was fun. I was so thrilled. Then I wouldn't even wait for long holidays to take place before, because I would be kind of salivating about the Egwu Onwa, all the activities that would take place by the time the moon had lighted up the earth. Okay, so I would always wish the long holidays would come up so that I would be able to travel alongside my immediate younger sister called Grace, even my elder brother too. So my elder brother Chris. So many my cousins, those who lived outside the homeland, So most of them will come back during the long holidays. So every one of us looked forward to coming back home during the long holiday period. Then before we would all come back, both my maternal granny and my paternal granny, all of them will be waiting. They will be full prepared, waiting for our arrival. All right. So my maternal granny, the husband, my paternal grandpa, was a sharpshooter. He was a hunter. He hunted both during the day and at night, and he always came home with a lot of meat. He also fished. He would come home with a lot of fish. And the wife, who happened to be my maternal granny, Nenem, that's what we call her, would now go to the kitchen, do justice to all the meat and the fish brought home by her husband, my maternal grandpa. Okay, so most of these edibles, she would prepare them. After she was done preparing them, she would put them in a place, in the fireplace called uko. Uko is just kind of rafter, wooden rafter, made from bamboo. Okay, so it's set up some inches high, above the fireplace. So anything put there would be kind of conserved. During there are so many festivals that would require conserved food or foods or edibles to be presented. Those edibles will be conserved, in the uko. So the taste of the smoke that would always fire the items up from the fireplace, from the local stove, the tripod, would now add good or better taste to the edibles. And when they are presented to you, you will always keep relishing, you enjoying. Your chin will be dancing up and down, kind of enjoying what you're giving. So we would always look forward, especially I would always look forward to all those things. And my maternal granny would ensure that, because she knew I loved dry fish and dry meat, she would make sure she had them in quantum, in large quantity, so that I would have enough, because I'm one of her favorites, if the most favorite of hers. So now, by the time the holidays would come up, we would all travel. First of all, we would land, in my own village, where I would see my paternal grandma. So that one would always send you to one errand or the other, because and lest I forget, we would always pray that each time we would come back during the long holidays, let there be full moon up above the sky, so that the fairy tales, and all the activities done by that time would take place. We would always pray, especially I always did. So now, there's something called Oro or Ewa Oro. That really means somebody's eyes will be closed by somebody. Now, one of the kids would just close someone's eyes and ask others to disappear, hide, find some hiding places. After a while, the kid whose eyes were kind of gagged, he or she will be free to look out for those who went to hide a few moments ago. Then he or she would start looking. If he or she would find a person, then someone else would play the role. And anybody that finally got the highest, at the end of the day, because during that period, there were usually two parties or two sides or two teams. One team would go to hide, while the other team would go to search them at a particular time given by somebody older than any of us. Then at the end of the day, if it were in my maternal home, my maternal granny would offer pieces of dry fish and dry meat to the person, And again, my maternal granny would always, grandma would always tell us stories, fairy tales, cock and bull stories. That's what I see those stories to be. Now I'm grown up. So she would always tell us stories, and would prefer to kind of make anybody who got the answers she would ask as at the end of each story, the person will be prized with lumps of meat, dry meat and dry fish, Then the person would just simply munch away. Oh, well, I relished. I really relished those periods, All right, how time flies when you have fun. Okay, now that's just it. So the oral activities and the fairy tale stories, I would enjoy a lot of them. Then on the side of my home, my paternal grandma would always like to send you to one errand. If it wasn't to go to get a snuff, she would give you her box of snuff. You would go to get her snuff from a dealer of snuffs who lived somewhere. Those people are no longer living now. They're all gone. Then you would go get the snuff. Any child that refused, she wouldn't want the person to be among those who would sit near her hut to listen to her stories. Because all the children, my cousins and other children that lived nearby would want to benefit from the stories that were being told by my paternal granny. Everyone would be so interested in running errands for the old woman. All right, so at the end of the day, we were all prized. We were all rewarded with munchies, So that's it. And one thing that I don't forget, I don't think I will ever do, is the kind of water I usually drank them from my maternal grandma's clay pot. It had what is called ongo. Ongo is a kind of taste that is got from wooden pots, whereby they will use what is called avovo. How would I describe it to people? The avovo is got from, it's a byproduct of processed palm fruits. And then it's tried, most homes then and now would use it to fire up their food and all that. They will add the avovo to the local stoves to enable the food there to get done on time. So all these activities, the stories, made up stories and all that, make believe. So we would always sit down quietly, eagerly, waiting for every story to be unfolded. So we would laugh. And the most important of those stories is when the tortoise, which we call nabe or mbe in Igbo, would be told. And Ale, who happened or happens to be the wife of the tortoise, the wife of Nabe, how she and her husband, Nabe, would always play each other and do some other activities to outwit each other. So many things, the elephant, the snake, the lion, leopards, and so many other animals, we would be told stories, with them, and I would always feel so pleased. I would always feel so satisfied at the end of the activities. We would always long for the period, the long holiday period to come up, and most of all, would always wish that each time we came home, there would be a full moon up there in the sky to give us a kind of illumination we needed for the stories to be churned out, So the Igbo, now some time ago I traveled home and I saw kids. Then 6, 7 was stark naked. What I mean, then we all wore our birthday clothes. We were dressed in our birthday suits. 7, you see kids dressed in their birthday suits. But this is no longer tenable now. Then I saw kids, when I traveled recently, during the moonlit period. A lot of them, even at 5, were full clad. I just laughed and said, modernization has taken its toll. Things have really changed. Times have changed as well. So anything is possible. So kids no longer go stark naked. All thanks to contemporary world. All right, I think that's all. It was really fun being part of the people or the kids, who listened to the fairy tales when they were being told, and other activities we enjoyed during those periods. All right, guys, that's all. Remember, Egwu Onwa was and is still fully made for the kids, and we enjoyed every bit of it. Bye-bye.